Verbally Effective, your double E, Ina Esco here. Thank you guys so much for joining me for episode 170 of the Verbally Effective podcast. You know, I've had so many people with Memphis roots on this podcast, and my guest today is multi-talented. And yes, he is from Memphis, and he's been all over the world with his comedy. His name is DERIC SLEEZY Evans. He is an actor, a comedian, a radio personality. What's up, DERIC SLEEZY Evans?
What's going on? Glad to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like all those accolades. Ain't nobody never introduced me like that.
Yes,
called out on stage with everybody, but never got that. Like, that's great.
I love the bio. Look, I was reading the bio. I said, oh, I got a comedian with a long bio. Wait a minute, let me read this bio again.
That's how you get the comedy club to be like, all right, he might be about something. The bio look like something.
The bio look like something, yes. Okay.
I let a woman do it for me, a black woman. See, man, get you a good black woman. Get your stuff together, man.
You right about that. Now, you know what? We're going to pop this thing right out because I want to know where the sleazy in your name has originated from. What does that mean, DERIC? Where sleazy come from?
It actually originated. I didn't have it my whole life. Neither did I give it to you. I don't believe you should give yourself a nickname. That's one. It was given to me in college, man, by my friends. Like you remember, the rapper Easy E. He called himself Sleezy E. Sleezy E. So they say I would say anything or do anything, but back then I was just a silly college kid, yada yada. So they just start calling me Sleezy, Sleezy. So people just yelled it. So it became like my college name. So I got it at Tennessee State University, right? Right up the street from Memphis.
Yes. So it stuck with you, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Well, it kind of rolls off the tongue. So we're gonna start at the beginning with you, DERIC. What part of Memphis are you originally from?
The original White Haven, aka Black Haven, man, back in the the 80s and the 90s before it turned into the hood. It's the hood now. I remember when it was green grass out there. 2 working malls.
Green grass out there. It's a little green grass going.
It's still green grass out there though, but I'm from the old White Haven back in the day.
Oh, White Haven. Tell me about growing up and, your formative years, growing up with your family in White Haven. How did the community look back then? What were you into as a young DERIC?
As a young DERIC, man, look, man, White Haven was, I'm going to say it was green. I was green to a lot of the things that went on in Memphis until I really got to like junior high. Like, I went to Rains Haven Elementary. It was like, rainbows and cotton candy. It was like this. Then my neighborhood got its own to go to Jeter Junior High. So I went from Rains Haven Elementary over to Jeter Junior High. It was like East Side High when I got over there. What's going on? So it was like I'm still on free lunch though. Don't get it twisted. So I'm poor, but I'm going from poor to meeting people like I'm in on the class, but I grew up semi-hood. Let me say that much. Like I got most of the things I asked for. So if I asked for 10 things during Christmas, I maybe got 3 of them. The rest of them was stuff that my mama filled in. She thought was cool.
Yeah.
Like a remote control car with the cord on it. Nobody loves that toy at all. That is one of the worst toys you can get.
It's a popular toy though. It's a popular.
It was popular, but your mama knew you didn't want that thing. But by the way, I'm a middle child too. I skipped over there. I'm a middle child. 3 boys. Middle child. I got an older brother and a younger brother. I grew up with both my parents. It was one of those cookie cutter, houses, man. It ain't nothing special about it. I didn't grow up in no abusive home, and my family was a funny family. That's all I could think of. Growing up, like I had a lot of times I would sit around thinking like stuff that my parents did or said, and I look at I was like, man, my folks were really ghetto, and I didn't know it. At the time, they were just hard-working people. I was like, these folks really ghetto as hell, but they doing their thing. Cause my dad from Dixie Home and my mom from Claiborne Home. I don't know how that little connection got together, but they merged and had us shit.
Wow. So you said you're a middle child. Are you and your 2 brothers still close, being a middle child?
Yeah. Being that I'm the middle child, I had to always share. So
yeah,
I always shared a room with my older brother. because we had a cousin that lived with us too. He had cerebral palsy. So he had the other room. So before my younger brother was born, it was me and my older brother in the room together. We're bunk beds now. Let's get this out. We're in bunk bed. With my cousin moved out into like a group home. He got his own house because the state got him, you know, they'll get you a caregiver and give you somebody to care for you because he has cerebral palsy. So my brother got their room. Boom, here come my little brother. Now I'm in the room. I had a bunk bed all the way to 12th grade.
No, you didn't. Were you on the top or the bottom? You better say the bottom.
The bottom, because they had that one with their full size on the bottom. I lost my virginity in that full size bed.
No, you did. No, you did.
They came over there and gave it up to me in that bottom bunk on that full size bed.
Not the bunk bed, the full size bed, baby. Don't play.
Full size and a twin on the top. You know what I'm saying? But it was a bunk bed. You remember them bunk beds?
Yes. You know, some of them were two twins, but you had the luxury of the fullest. Got it.
Told them hard working bunk people. They got us the finest of bunk beds.
Okay. So let's get into the activities you were involved in around middle school, high school, because I see that, you know, you eventually went to TSU and you were in the Aristocrat of Band. So did you start playing an instrument in middle school, high school?
In middle school, I started in the 7th grade. And the funny thing about that, I had always wanted to be in the band, but my elementary didn't have instruments like that. So I always said, I'm going to play the tuba because the guy behind me used to play the tuba. Like he lived directly James, what was his last name? I can't think of his last name. But he lived behind me, and I used to always stand outside and watch him play. He played the tuba. I was like, I'm going to play that when I get old enough. So when I got to G-Dot, they go around and ask everybody what they want to play. Most of the guys, drums, you want to play drums, I was one of two people there. I was like the tuba. I said at first, I was like, I want to play the tuba. Man, that band director, my eyes lit up so big. Well, I forget everybody. Mr. Hill, his eyes lit up. He was like, hey, I can tell you're gonna be a good tuba player because nobody just ups and says. He said, you usually have to talk dudes into being a tuba player. He said, but you blurted it out. I know you're gonna be good. So I played it from 7th grade all the way to college. Made always Tennessee bands. I was good. I was a band geek. I can say that much.
Used to go to those competitions and win first chair. I remember all of that.
Yep, I do always Tennessee band. I did that was it. That was a really big competition. I made the lower band, the red band, blue band, and the wind ensemble. I made red band. I mean, I was good enough for me. I made it, you know. Wasn't that many black people in it. So I was celebrating that I made it. So that was one of the things. My mom used to drive me all over the country with this band stuff, man.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So interesting. Played the tuba. Was that reason for you to go to TSU, or how did you end up going to TSU, Derek?
That was the reason why. Like, watching. You go to Southern Heritage class and you see, Jackson State, Tennessee State. We used to go to, back then, we used to get on the buses and go to all these different college homecomings. I mean, they still do it now, but we used to go to all the homecoming parades, go to these different schools. And I kind of fell in love with Tennessee State because I think it was like 96 or 97. We went to their homecoming. I was like, I know where I'm going. I said, you got, man, I saw it was a slew of people. I said, this is where I'm going. I went to, like, we go to everybody, like Valley, Southern. We went to FAMU homecoming. We went to a lot of black school homecoming, but that TSU homecoming, I was like, man, I'm sold. It ain't got nothing to do with academics. I said, it was niggas everywhere. Can I say that? They was everywhere.
Yes, you can say that. Wow. But you know what? A lot of people say that, like homecoming, they all they got to do is go to one homecoming and they sold on going to a lot of these HBCUs off the top.
That's all these little black boys and girls need to see, man. They need to bring them around homecoming time to do a campus tour, not just because of the party, but just to see, man, everybody that look like you that's around. It's a family reunion. It's a college family reunion. That's basically what it is. You get to see everybody drunk, but having a good time. It ain't no drunk, I'm finna kick everybody's ass out here. Let's celebrate. It's a celebration. I'm happy. I'm 18 again for one day. You're 40 years old.
Yes.
But all the friends you went to college again. I be wanting them to see the camaraderie, because that's where I met all of my lifelong friends. I mean, I'm still cool with high school friends, but my college friends are like blood.
I feel you. Yes. I understand. I understand. I'm Lamont on college alum. So me and my folks are still tight to this day, especially my sorority sisters.
What's
Yeah.
wrong with you? What you in?
Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority
That's
incorporated.
what my old lady, she Alpha Psi. She an AKA.
Okay, Alpha Psi, yes. Tell my
Yeah.
sorority said what's up. Tell her I said ski wee over there.
Ain't nothing but the Lord right there. I couldn't do anything, man. I'm gonna say it now. I'm 40 years old. Anybody gonna beat me up? I wanted to do Omega Psi Phi when I was in college, but they were kicked off the yard, and by the time they was coming back on the yard, I was graduating. So I ain't one of them people like, well, since they ain't here, I'm gonna do this instead. So I was like, shit, I can do nothing. But that's what I was. That was the road I wanted to go down.
Well, you know, there's always grad chapter.
Oh, that ship has sailed. I mean, I'm cool with everybody now. Like I made all like it's really. I think it's more so for the connects. You know what I'm saying? And business ventures within life. I feel like I can touch all of those levels now because of what I'm doing now, comedy. Because I've done comedy shows for damn near just about all Greek. You know what I'm saying? I got one coming up and do one for the Eastern Stars in a minute, in a few weeks. So yeah, man, I'm in the loop. I think if I wasn't in the loop, I probably would have grabbed.
Yeah.
But I'm in the loop.
I feel you. I feel you. Now let me ask you this, Derek. I see that your degree over there at TSU was a bachelor's degree in human performance sport science. Where'd that come from? Where does that come from?
Now that is the dressed up, educated way to say PE teacher.
He said PE teacher. Okay.
I'm human performance sports and science.
Wow,
so
PE teacher.
I'm supposed to be a health and wellness teacher or a PE teacher or some of that sort, or I could be a director of boys and girls, one of them, health facility, something like that. That's what that degree basically say. But I thought I was gonna go into teaching. I mean, but I didn't. I ended up doing comedy straight out of college, and I started getting on the road, and by that time I hadn't even taken the teacher's exam and none of that stuff. I like the comedy.
Wow, so you started comedy in college?
Yeah, like towards my life. I wish I had started earlier in college, but I started like towards the end, like when I came back, because I had quit, and I came back to finish them. That's another story. My mama told me, go on and finish it, boy. You're almost done. You only got a few hours, but you had how many hours again? I'm like 20-some hours, because I was on that, man, fuck college. This stuff ain't gonna do that. So she was like, just go do it. Like, finish it up. So I went back, man. I got them little 20 hours, and I finished, and I was finna take the practice. I went to grad school and everything. I was in grad school, and then that's when I moved to Houston. I moved to Houston like a little bit after that.
Okay.
And that's when I ended up in Houston for a while.
Wow. Okay, so let's tell me how this entire comedy lifestyle started. Okay, you was in college. Were you joking with your friends? People was like, you know what, you need to do some comedy. How did it all come together?
Man, it all came together actually, man, in high school, because my band director, Mr. Huddleston, rest in peace, Mr. Huddleston, he'd always tell me, because he had a jazz band. He's like, look, you always playing in Philly, boy. Look, I'll vouch for you. If you want to come open up for me, I'll let you do it. You know what I'm saying? You can come in the adult club, I'll let you open up and do some comedy. I'm like, nah, as a kid, I'm like, I'm scared. I'm scared. So in college, same thing. Making my band members laugh, just think of a whole auditorium of people laughing at you in college. You just playing and joking and going. It just became people like, man, you come. So finally, my friend was doing stand-up comedy, another friend of mine in college, his name Timothy Lyon. He's like, man, I'm putting this comedy show together. Go and get you 5 minutes. So, that's like a guest spot number there. I got me 5 minutes together. I got up there and did great. And I said, you know what? I like this. It was like a drug. And the thing, that's why I still do comedy, man. It ain't even about the money or the fame. I never wanted to be famous with it. It's addictive to make people laugh for me, man. That is that drug of entertainment is what I love. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It can be I can just make people laugh. And if somebody just gave me somewhere to live and somewhere to eat, maybe like just get to make people laugh every day. I do it.
Okay.
That's the drug to me. I can't get rid of that because I enjoy seeing people grab their stomachs, their head. You say you stupid. That's what I get out of it. It ain't. I love the money. Don't get me wrong, but I can't explain that feeling, man. Like, what makes you happy? Like that's why I tell people, like, what makes you happy? Okay, then, would you do it for free? And they'd be like, yeah. So that's how I feel about comedy. I probably would do it for free.
And you know what you said, you know, it's not about the money. I've heard stories of comedians, you know, having to start off not making much, but to see their journey keep going and those gigs keep coming and getting bigger and bigger. I know that has been interesting, to say the least. I know you got some stories to tell.
Any comedian, man, I'm still poor, but man, that first beginning, I never forget all the old heads, no matter where you go. They be like, you funny. Hey, keep your day job though. Don't ever quit don't ever think that you that funny that you got to quit your your day job. So it's a poor industry. Comedians are very we poor. The promoters be broke. Club owners be pension. You go to a comedy club, they'll give you a BS check unless you headlining or hosting and the feature. If you're doing like an opening spot or a guest spot, really that feature spot, they pay just chump change you. Hey man, it's hard out here. I be feeling sorry. I done got $15 checks. I done got 25. I done got all the way up to $7,500 for doing this shit. I done got $75. It's highs and lows, man.
Yeah.
It ain't like you're a rapper or R&B artist. It's my price. Or DJ. DJ is a firm. Like this is what I am an hour. You want it, you can take it or not. Comedians, we gotta negotiate with these people because you know what I'm saying? We need it. Sometimes they know we be needing. They be like, man, I got $250. Can you come up here and headline for me? I be like, $250, man, to drive to Birmingham? Come on, bro. I'm burning 100 of it. Getting there, so I done made $150 to come down there, and I'm sleeping.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a tough industry right there. Wow. You know what? Let's talk about, you know, with the introduction of social media. So you have this entirely new platform, and you have, you know, quite a few people on social media doing comedy, right?
Yeah.
I spoke with Mike Ware maybe a couple of months back. He was on the podcast, Junior. And
yeah,
I know you know him. And we were talking about this very thing about it's a big difference with performing on your phone or on a camera for social media versus having that stage presence on a stage. So tell me about that, because you've been around for quite a bit. You've been at the introduction, you know, when there was no social media. So tell me how that transition has worked out for you, and, you know, have you used social media to your advantage with your comedy as well?
Actually, to be honest, I am a social media comic in an essence. I mean, because we did these things called Man Code way back in the day. And I mean, we used to do skits, me and this other comedian, Billy Sorrell. That's when I was in Houston, man. We did a whole, so that's actually how I started getting recognized from those skits, because they had put us on the World Star website. You know, back then, when you actually got on the website, it'll push you real good, real quick and real good. So that's how I got the initial push. And then we started getting booked in these colleges. It's like 2000, maybe. I want to say 9, 10, something around there. So that pushed me. But as far as like, I was doing stand-up at the time too. We were just doing that. You know what I'm saying? At the time, you know, wasn't nobody really on the YouTube thing like that. You know what I'm saying? So you go check. We got 1 million views on some of these videos. But I think that the internet comedians, man, I think a lot of them are good, but I think a lot of them they skipped a step, man. You have to, even though you're famous, you know, internet comedian, I still think you got to hit these open mics. You may have got this big ass following. That's true. I never hate on them, but I'm happy they get their money. I wish I could get some of that money again. Help me out, internet comedians. Anyway, I think they should start hitting these open mics, man, and not be so arrogant. Where you know that you're funny, because all of us know that we're funny, but don't be afraid to add one of them niggas to teach you how to walk, talk, hold a mic, what not to do, what not to say, and stop. I mean, stealing jokes. You ain't got to steal your like stuff. Like I'm gonna be honest, like the funny internet comedians to me, like Country Wayne. I love Country Wayne.
Oh yeah, he's good.
DC Young Fly is a funny internet guy. I can't name all that I think funny, but I like Toya Turner. She real funny. I actually performed with her before. She real hood. I like hood comedians. Like they do their whole. They know how to transition themselves and give you real life comedy on stage. That's my comedy. I don't want no setup. A story with a little corny punchline. I like you get up there, Mike helps me, tell me about some nigga shit, some real, not grimy, but I want to know, man. I mean, let me know like how the pimps was in your neighborhood. How did the guy? Well, I want bring me into your world without, you know what I'm saying, watering it down. I want to feel your comedy. I don't. Sometimes it don't even be funny, but you laugh because you feel it, right?
Right.
So I mean, make me forget about my day, but laugh at the bullshit of my day.
Right.
So them the type of comedians I like to watch.
Yeah.
Them internet comedians, but they I don't have a problem with none of them. They just skip the step. I ain't telling them that they some bullshit comedians, but I think they skip that open mic step. That's the step they need to go to. And that'll be way better than any other. You see Country Wayne and them, they got so good at it now. Him and DC Young Fly, even though they started off on the internet, that they are beasts on the stage now.
Yeah, they are. And they've had some TV time to practice as well. So, and just think about the pandemic, right? We were all in the house. I've seen a lot of people break through as internet stars or comedians, having to be in the house and have to come up with something to present for content. So there you go with that. So speaking of the pandemic, what were you doing when the pandemic popped off? How did that change your world?
Man, I was actually in the house, working for the station. I had a few dates, you know what I'm saying, booked up, and actually, I had kept a $500 deposit because of the pandemic happened during it. So the dude sent me $500 for half of a show I was going to do something, but you can't get it back. It is what it is.
It is, but
all you do at this point is rebook me, you know what I'm saying, if you feel like it, but I mean, he ain't called me or said nothing else about it, but it canceled a lot of traveling dates. I mean, I didn't do any virtual shows. I thought it was corny to do virtual shows. I need the crowd interaction.
Yeah.
I did a backyard comedy show. I loved that. He had his whole backyard set up, had like a big tent and everything, bonfires and all that stuff. So he had a backyard comedy, comedy festival type thing in his backyard. That was it, man. Radio station, had my own little radio thing set up at the house where I can work from the radio station to the from the house. So it was weird.
Yeah, it's different.
Like right when the pandemic hit, we had just got out of like a tornado tearing up there. You know what I'm saying? So it was a pandemic. Then the tornado hit, then we went through the whole summer with the pandemic thing.
I remember that, yeah.
And then in January, we got hit with that snowstorm.
Bam, bam, bam.
So we kept getting hit, boom, 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 boom. That was like, so
yeah,
we was stuck.
Yeah, wow, I remember that tornado. I forgot all about. Well, you're making me remember it now. But you mentioned the radio station. So tell me how this entire radio opportunity came. I love radio stories. Tell me all about how the whole morning show gig with 92Q in Nashville came about.
I bugged the hell out of Kenny Smooth. That's what I did. Called him, hit him up, told him, like, man, let me do something. This years way before he even knew that he was gonna get a morning show, before they offered it to him. And even with iHeart, I went to iHeart. I used to try to get Dola White. They didn't have no room over there. It was just, please put me somewhere. Just let me come in and sit in here with y'all. Zach Bugg. I used to go sit in on his show and just watch him. I just sit. Anybody that was dealing with radio, I used to ask him, let me come sit in. Just let me come watch. Let me come watch. And everybody be like, hey, yeah, Steve, I'd be honored for you to come sit. So I would just come sit. And like, even with me sitting in there, I'd be like, man, say this. They be like, I ain't never thought of like, say this. So they'll say it. They were like, man, we need to figure a way to get you in here. So one day, this was my last time I seen Kenny Smooth like at a birthday party. Like we got mutual friends. And I said, Kenny, go on throw me, I'm just talking shit. Go on throw me on this show with you. But at that time, we had a midday. I was like, go on throw me on your midday, Kenny. It's like, actually, he said, why you saying that? I got something coming up. I can't tell you right now, but I'm gonna let you know. Man, a month later, this man got a morning show. Hit me up. At first, I was a call-in guy. Just call in and say something stupid. So he's like, fuck this. He's like, Sleezy, hey, just come up there. So I came up there, and I was working at a country club as a bartender, and I was working in Meharry, medical, the black college, the medical college. I was working there also. So I was coming there before I went to my job. I was working for free for at least a year on the radio. People don't know. So
they do that though, but yeah, like you said, people don't know that actually happens.
People don't know this. If you want sometimes you gotta do this, man.
You gotta pay your dues.
I work because I don't have a degree in radio. I don't have no radio background, so I had to come up there, sit every day, and get my voice, find who I am in this radio. What can they use me for? What kind of skits can they put me in? They had to feel me. So I understood that. So, because I worked in Hollywood, so set up there a whole year. Come when I get off work, or man, they ain't know a lot of times I would call out from my job just to come sit up there. Until one day, the general manager listened to me on the radio. I don't know why she was listening to it that particular day. She asked Kenny Smooth, "Who was that comedian guy on there?" She's like, "Oh, shit, we got to get him on contract or someone gets him."
Yeah.
Because if you know, Rick Party, Rick Party and Sasha, they had a show in Atlanta, Rick and Sasha show. I went down there and helped their producer write for that day, for their show, and they said they wanted me, so they told another guy that, hey, what can we do to get him and Kenny Smooth? He's like, bring your ass on back home. I was doing a show down in Atlanta, and I just sat in with their show because they don't. He was like, no. So that's when they told me to sign the contract, you know what I'm saying, with Cumulus. Like, bring your ass on back here. We want you. We like you. And you can't go nowhere because we like you. So that's my story.
I like that story, Derek. Wow. But you see, you had to work for free. People don't know this. They see that you work in radio. They think it's all glitz and glam. Baby, you got to grind for it.
They don't know about all of the BS behind it, too, though. Y'all cut their radio on. Y'all don't know. It's some crazy people above your boss that's telling your boss to do crazy shit. You're like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
It came from corporate. We got to do it.
And you got to roll with it. You got to roll with it. Wow.
Or quit your job. Either that. You just roll with it.
And look, many people not gonna quit radio. I just don't even know one person that has quit a radio job unless they had another one lined up in another market.
I remember when the COVID first hit, corporate sent an email, quit. I don't want no COVID jokes right now. Sensitive matter, yada yada yada. And we had just like that day before went like on a COVID. We were just making all kinds. We were cracking up, folks calling in laughing. Kenny Smooth came in it. Like, hey, man, we can't do no more COVID jokes.
During the pandemic.
Yeah, so we can't do it. So now they don't even say nothing about it now. Man, this shit back open. We can say what we want to say and all this shit, but that's one of them things I just say I be like, man, what's the point? Like, why we can't joke about it? Everybody joke about everything else. I mean, but it's one of them BS things that I could talk about freely. I can't say a lot of stuff, but there's just one I can think in particular.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Just radio in general, that, you know, you're in there now, you're doing a big morning show. You know, it's a lot of politics behind, you know, these big corporations in radio. You're with Cumulus, you got your iHearts, you got your Citadel, you got all these big conglomerates. Radio One, and, you know, it's a different day and age now. Like, you know, just for example, here in Memphis, you know, we have all of these syndicated morning shows. It's amazing that you guys have a local morning radio show. Now we just started one. I say we, I'm not with iHeart anymore, but while I was there, Mike Evans started one, a new morning show on V101. But to have the opportunity to do that these days with syndication is truly a blessing, because you competing with your Steve Harveys.
And we beat them a few months.
Down there,
a few times. We have beat them a few months. Hey, I tell you about it, you can look up the number, man. Yeah, sometimes we go back and forth with them.
Yeah.
Because it's local. People don't, and I don't think a lot of cities understand it. I don't think it should be no syndicated shows, man, because it's not personal. You can't get danger. Like we do local love. Like we got this segment called Local Love, where we show love to the local businesses, the local black businesses, local artists. We used to do local artists once a month, like play their song on the radio. We can get back to that. Like not knocking them, Steve or Ricky, and they can't really do that because they're syndicated and they not personal with their people. All those calls are not personal. It's a producer and they talking and they cutting, talking, cut. Talking, you're not talking to Ricky and them for real. When you call in, you talking to us. Our producer is sitting on the board right across from me, chopping it up, not in another room like Ricky. He ain't in a little booth by himself. Our phone, I be on the phone. I have to write down the information when y'all win a contest. I talk to you when you win the contest. Not no producer. That's what I'm saying. I think every city should have their own morning show for that simple fact. It'll bring back radio because it makes it personal. The Breakfast Club is not personal. It's gossip. Not it's a bad thing, but it's gossip. You tune it in to them for gossip. You tune in to Mike Evans and a Kenny Smooth to laugh at your city for the day, or get your city news for the day, or such and such having a birthday bash. We marching today for such and such. You get that from Mike Evans and Kenny Smooth. You're not getting that from Ricky and them. No, we don't, because our numbers are not terrible. They don't win all the time, but at the same time, the city's listening to us. So that's how they call it. The lines are always hot. When we play a game, the line's hot. We do our version of what they call their strawberry letter. We call ours what you said. So we do see, that's personal. That's something that Nashville people say, Memphis people say, what you said. So, what you said. So we made it personal. So we have a topic, they call in and get their opinion. Like, so it's, man, I like local stuff, man. Like I never wanted to be famous, man. I wanted to make money to survive, man, because like I said, I have a degree in education. What teachers make? Nope. Everybody knows teachers don't make that much. They should, but if I make what I make in comedy a year or more, if it's more than what I would make as a teacher, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, because I don't have to be this big mega star. I have a home, I have 2 cars, running cars. I mean, I'm happy. So what more do you want out of this thing? You know what I'm saying? When you get all the things, then what? It's no things. I want no things. I like your garden. I want your garden. That's what I want. I like the garden you get. That is a nice fucking garden, bro. I love it. Every time you show, I said, like today you show over yesterday. I was like, damn, my plants grew overnight because they weren't that big the other day when you showed them, because you can see the dirt the other day. And today I was like, that's a full goddamn garden now. Yeah. I seen some little green tomatoes, they get about that big. I'm like, look at that. I live in a town home. I got a balcony garden out there, man. My balcony garden is little, but it's something. I got you. I think, man, I got a lot coming up. I actually, man, got this thing. What we're gonna do? It's either gonna be on my TV 30 or what's the other? Not Bounce. It's one of these local things, man. For what my TV 30, we're gonna do like a mock comic view of all the local and I mean just not local. I mean people from Huntsville, or if you're coming up here from Kentucky, whatever. It's gonna be like a comedy showcase. We're gonna do on TV. We're gonna film it out of this location here, this black business, and we're gonna put it on the local access channel by these guys that's got like a foot in the door with the people over at my TV 30. We doing that. I got, man, some dates coming up in Houston. I gotta go down there, man. These businesses got their PPP loan. They ready to spend it on some people. They ready to get it out. So the businesses that got their money seriously, they ready to book people again. I can tell they got their money too, because they like, hey, whatever it is, I'm ready to fly you in. I'm like, well, shit, I know you got your PPP money. Spend it. They got these clubs got their PPP money. Hey man, I don't think the government should go that far with it, man. I think, man, if I put it like this, if you go back, if they audit you and they see that you took that PPP loan and went down to Miami and all this stuff, yeah, I think you should get in trouble for it. But if I got the PPP loan and got caught up on life, would you want to take me to jail for to reset me on life? Like, if I'm getting caught up on, like, let me get that little 20,000 about whatever you gave. Everybody can get the 20. Some people got 75. Some people got 3,000. So it is what it is. But I think if you use it for the right thing, man, like even if you had a small business and you went and bought better and more equipment with it, even though it was for payroll, but if you went and bought better, better and bigger equipment, I feel like why would you be mad at me? Me as the government, I kept the money within circulation. I went and spent it at another business, and I kept it going. So no, we're gonna see. Payroll, payroll protection. They ain't got no employees. Man, you should. Oh man, that I was always there when they needed me. Because there's the type of friend I never want anything in return. I people helped me a lot throughout my life, and I always help. My mom was a helper. My mama took care of everybody's children, helped take care of mine, helped take care of other people's children. She has foster kids now, so that I get that from her. Like I'm a helper, man. I don't want you. You don't have to do shit for me. I just it's in my blood. I don't put myself in danger to help nobody. But if you need me, it's anybody. Whether we've been knowing each other for a year or 20 years. I just want people to always stand up in my front and be like, man, did fuck with him. He's a helper, man. I want to go to heaven. I want to be known as a helper. You can just look me up on any of them, man. This is Derek Evans, DERICEVANS. And when you type in my name, you know, on Instagram or Twitter, you know, Sleezy's Christ is gonna come up, but it's DERICEVANS. I can't spell my own first name. Derek Sleezy. No K. I'm D Eric. They actually say that in high school. D Eric. Because I think I was gonna be Eric at first, and my mama just put the D on there. Yep. I'm coming. I want some of them. I want some of this stuff out there garden when I come too. Whenever I come to do your show, bring me up like old ladies to bring it in the brown sack. I want my stuff like Big Mama. Bring me my vegetables in the brown sack. We're gonna call you Ina Easy Way, like the old girl stuff. Ina Easy. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.